Pendejadas.
Totally.
But we can't get those things on our own. Raul helped build this organization with the understanding that the diversity of this community, as distinct as the Bogotas of the Bronx, as beautiful as the blossoms of Miami, and as unique as the breakfast tacos here in San Antonio, is your strength.
I just have one thing to say. Hang on here.
Taco, taco, burrito, taco, 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 don't think just because I got a lot of money, I'll give you taco flavored kisses, honey. Fulfill all your wishes with my taco flavored kisses. Taco, taco, burrito, burrito, taco, taco. Taco, taco, burrito, burrito, taco, taco.
Ay, Dios
We are
mío.
not tacos. Hello, hola, hola.
¿Qué tal todos? Aún estoy en shock. Disculpen.
Buenos tacos. Espera, ¿estábamos al aire?
Al
Sí.
parecer.
We have been.
Por eso dije disculpen, estoy en shock aún. Literal, Pablo y yo estamos como, ¿qué pasó? ¿Dónde estamos? ¿Quién eres?
Taco, taco, burrito, burrito, taco, taco.
Tony, lo peor es que conozco demasiados otakus, incluyendo a muchos de mis amigos. Después de todo, yo también soy un otaku. Los otakus no comemos tacos, los otakus comemos ramen, maldita sea.
Mucho, pero mucho ramen. Aunque ya no puedo comerlo con el polvito porque es malo para mí. F en el chat, por favor.
Hola, gente en el chat. Nasim, Rey.
En Perú tienen locales de comida, de venta de productos para hacer comida asiática.
Brother, Perú tiene la segunda colonia japonesa fuera de Japón más grande.
Entonces, ¿de qué te quejas? Puedes conseguir miso.
Yo sé, pero solamente que a veces eso que me encanta el paquetito de ramen ese que se hace rapidito, ¿no?
El maruchan.
Pero me dijeron, no es bueno para ti el polvito y está, ay, qué triste, es tan rico.
Claro, es pura sal.
Sí, yo sé.
Es grasa de pollo y sal. ¿Quién diría que los japoneses inventarían algo así de admitamos lo sabroso?
Sabroso, pero muy peligroso.
Ah,
Y-
es sabroso pero letal.
No, Diego, no hagas ese chiste.
Hice el setup y lo evitaste, maldita sea.
Como digo, siempre estoy listo para estas cosas. Pero regresando a cosas más divertidas y menos importantes, ¿cómo están todos en el chat? Díganos, ¿cómo están? ¿Ha sido un buen día hasta el momento? ¿Ha sido un mal día? ¿Ha sido
También, ¿cómo estamos todos en el panel? ¿Alguien se siente tan fresco como un taco de verano?
Diego mira a la ventana y mira el cielo gris de Lima y dice, bueno, considerando que tengo la realización diaria de nuestra propia mortalidad, diría que estoy bien. A ver qué más nos dice. ¡El chat!
Oh, no.
Ay, Rey Arturo, no, maldita sea.
Oh, no.
Ay, no, aléjate. Aléjate.
Como un pionono de vitrina, enróllame así.
Hola a todos, soy yo, Benetech, y este es mi regreso triunfal. Y maldito Poli. Me vengaré. Me vengaré.
How is that
Yeah,
your
bro.
fucking triumphant return, dude?
He has been away like 2 weeks.
He hasn't
Yeah.
been away.
Like,
We're
not in
fucking
videos.
doing the show every week.
Yeah,
not the
we
videos.
haven't done a video in 2 weeks.
Who the fuck cares? Just put the video up.
I
My
was trying to
triumphant
be
return.
funny.
You're trying to be funny, and then me fui.
Hey, that's what I said. If I'm gonna be doing this video, I have to be funny.
But that pose is, I am your messiah.
Now I know what I'm gonna be for Halloween.
Una
Call
pequeña
me
discusión
Moses.
con una
Look at the faces you make.
candidata al Congreso de su partido político. Tuvo una pequeña discusión con una candidata al Congreso de su partido político.
I have to be delicate because I live in a country where they can still sue me for this.
Really?
Yes.
Mm. Well, then we'll just play it some more.
Uno de los mejores ejemplos acá pueden ver es Marvel España, Burger King. Y el de Marvel España es uno de los más divertidos. Porque esto es donde llegamos al punto de en su Twitter. Y pues todo Thor musculoso como lo recordamos.
Thor, musculón.
Ya, respeta, ya. Tenía que hacer algo.
Te va a dar Thor Tírcolis.
Triumphant return of Diego.
Yes, it is.
He's here every fucking day on the channel.
But
A
not
ver
on
si
video.
alguna de estas también ya se ha tenido ese mismo nivel de en el que
So, do you sing this every day, Diego?
No,
Liar.
but I do listen it to every day. Like, they put it on the radio every single station, no matter what it
sin
is
más
about.
preámbulos, soy Diego
Christ.
Méndez y nos vemos hasta la próxima.
Azúcar en polvo, endulzame. Y es que tú
Pretty painful.
Imagine being like every day. I turn on the radio and that's the only song that's playing.
Big Raj!
Yeah, brother.
Gracias.
$1.99 Canadian super sticker. Super chat. Super sticker.
Y es un
Guess. Es un thumbs up.
nice.
Sweet.
Ah,
Pero ahora-
¿ya vieron Thor?
Alfredo, te odio. I hate you.
¿Ya vieron Thor?
No. Es que
Tienen
yo
suerte.
tuve mi pequeño, recuerden, yo tenía que ver con lo del el COVID.
Oh, tuviste tu COVID scare.
No tanto, para mí no, más era por el hecho de mi pobre madre. Porque mi hermana lo tuvo y ella vive con nosotros. Pero ya, ahora esta semana voy a poder finalmente ir.
¿Para qué?
Además-
Yo
además-
fui ayer.
No, además,
No lo
Pablito,
vale.
Pablito, esta semana puedo usar mi membresía y pago la mitad.
Yo
Más o
siempre hago
menos.
eso.
¿Qué?
Yo siempre hago eso.
Y ese por eso digo, ya puedo. Es que por alguna razón, algunas películas de Marvel no te dejan hasta la tercera semana a veces para eso, porque Disney es Disney.
Ah, sí. Las primeras 2 semanas no te dejan usar tarjetas de 2x1, cosas así. Pero yo tengo coronita.
Sí, tú tienes ventaja. Pero ya, dice... Entenderé que entonces no te gustó la tercera temporada.
Ah,
He escuchado noticias así como que información mixta. Algunos dicen que no es super woke, ¿no? Otros dicen que sí es super woke. Y otros dicen simplemente, no entiendo qué está pasando, no veo la hilación entre primera, segunda y tercera temporada. Clarito, ¿tú sabes algo?
dejé de ver The Boys al segundo capítulo de la segunda temporada. No planeo volver a ver esa serie.
Te dejó una buena impresión en lo que veo.
Lo peor es que empecé a decirle a todo el mundo, ve a Norville. Vamos en el 6º episodio. Se
Ok.
mandaron todo un episodio anti-trans usando la dinámica pro-trans, incluyendo una cirugía de transición a un menor de edad en la clandestinidad como algo bueno. Disney lo corrompe todo. Amazon también. Maldito BlackRock.
Bueno, mientras Pablo creo que se recupera un poco de eso. Polly, have you seen The Boys?
No, I've never seen an episode. Is it any good?
I don't know. I've been hearing like mixed things, and from Rey Arturo Negro's comment, he's like, The Boys' third season seems not to be in his liking. And I've heard that some say it's woke the third season, others say it's not woke, others people just say I don't understand what the hell is happening. So that's why I want to know if you've seen it or not.
No, that's actually not true. I think I saw a couple episodes a few years back, and it just didn't do anything for me. Like, I didn't care. I mean, it's like, oh, I know it looks cool, and I know it's like these are crazy characters. Just wasn't feeling it. But that's all right. I don't. I could see why
I'll be honest,
people love it.
I haven't seen it either. Yeah, I know people love it, but I mean, I haven't seen it. I've read all the graphic novel, but seeing the show and hearing the differences, I was like, this is not for me. So I wasn't sure about it. Now, con Rey Arturo Negro, I'm not gonna see it.
So what's the deal now? It went political or what?
Second season it went full political, anti-Trump. So they started with jabs at everybody, and I mean everybody, saying everyone is a bad guy from World War II. So it went full political.
At least season 3 supposedly didn't. I don't know. It's like I don't know what to believe anymore.
I did hear that the Orville kind of is going woke real quick or something like that. People are really complaining.
Yeah, as Rey Arturo Negro puts it, is completely bipolar. Is absolutely bipolar. It starts with anti-woke. For example, there's this character that was forced into a transition when it was a baby and wants to become what he was intended in nature. So is anti-transition, but at the same time pro-transition, just trying to mask it as anti-transition is really stupid. They just don't know how to be woke without being woke, and they are trying really, really hard. And the shame is some of the writing on that script is really touching. There's a moment when they start talking about how the character Topa needs to be back to his real self because a manufactured body imposed by somebody without his will is a crime against nature. So that can be read as a stop transition in babies. That is logical. But then they do this transition surgery on the clandestine way, and is against the will of one of the parents, and
it's a mess.
It's a mess. Yeah, but there's some of the writing that is really good, and some of the jabs that they took at transitioning kids could be read as completely against trans in general, as modifying a body against nature, and is something that should never be done.
Yeah, no, we've been watching the Terminal List, and I got Romy to watch it. So she's liking it a lot. That first episode was amazing. That first episode was really great way to open up the series. This is my second time watching it now. This week.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Nice.
I really recommend The Terminal. And then there's a new comedy from Mexico called Harina. Have you guys heard it?
No.
It's not bad. It's like a Reno 911, but Mexican cops.
Ok.
I don't know.
Suena bien.
Let me look.
Gonzalo dice, Pablo, tienes que ver los primeros 10 minutos del primer episodio de la tercera. La tercera es genial, tercera temporada de The Boys. Me encantaría pensar que están tratando de regresar a algo, aunque sea neutro, porque The Voice siempre fue un ataque hacia todos lados. La visión es que todo mundo está podrido por dentro y todo mundo está dispuesto a venderse por algo, entonces... interesante. Si es que dices que es bueno, voy a tratar de ver los primeros 10 minutos de la tercera temporada. El problema es que ahora yo dejo las series inmediatamente, noto alguna estupidez, porque cuando era joven vi demasiados animes malos y era una época en la que si es que compraba un DVD de anime, no tenía para comprar otro DVD por un buen tiempo, entonces tenía que ver la serie que compré. He visto cosas terribles como Yumeria, investígalo. Popotan, investígalo. Lemon Angel Project, no lo investigues, no vale la pena. Derroché demasiado dinero en cosas así, entonces ahora que ya tengo la capacidad de encontrar cualquier cosa en internet, simplemente si no me gusta, ahí queda. Al menos que sea Star Wars, en Star Wars sigo viendo la serie, simplemente es una mezcla entre masoquismo y quiero asegurarme de cuando el cadáver deje de tener convulsiones, quiero estar completamente seguro de que ya no hay un rastro de vida en ese cadáver para darle una manera de cerrar a mi mente ese capítulo. Se terminó, Star Wars está completamente muerto. ¿Por qué? Porque siempre hay estos pequeños momentos en los que regreso y digo, tal vez podrían hacer algo bueno y sale Obi-Wan. Star Wars es lo único en lo que sigo haciendo eso. Star Trek lo dejé por completo. Para mí Star Trek es las primeras 3 temporadas, la serie original, y es las primeras 6 películas. Después de eso, gracias a Picard.
I know we're kind of all over the place before we get to our main topics, but we're just talking about new TV shows. Some we like, some we don't like, some are going woke. This is a new one on Amazon called Harina. Let's check it out.
Si cada vez que alguien dice, ¡ay, papantla!, lo único que puedes pensar es, ¿tus hijos vuelan?, es que alguien ha dejado un hueco en tu corazón.
¡Que se armen los chingadazos!
Por eso le hicimos una serie. Un asesino serial se está metiendo con los influencers y solo el policía más viral de internet podía resolver este caso. Un policía sin miedo, sin moral.
Tú haces tu trabajo y me pagas para que yo no haga el mío, ¿no?
Y sin ningún tipo de preparación.
Nos vamos a hacer de la vista gorda, Fat Beast.
Pero rodeado del mejor equipo.
Señor, oficial Ramírez, señor.
La buena, el malo, el feo, el otro feo. Bueno, hay muchos feos. Una serie de acción, diversión y sustancias ilegales.
Soy adicto a las drogas. Soy adicto al alcohol, al sexo, al juego.
¿Qué estuvo bueno de Gringo salvando en New York?
Normal.
La heroína de Puebla y el antihéroe de Tupilejo.
Con un así gigante y un corazón aún más grande.
El chico que la Ciudad de México necesitaba para resolver problemas reales.
A veces, no hacer nada es hacer todo.
Acompaña al teniente y a Ramírez en esta increíble línea de investigación.
¿Cuántos views, cabrón? ¡56 millones!
Harina, el teniente versus...
Cancelado.
This guy's funny, man. I've seen like two episodes. The lead guy is just really funny. And so the real, and then can translate. The setup is that he's just, you know, he's a buffoon cop, corrupt, typical, and he's just always partying, even on the job. Well, the court's gonna take away his daughter if he doesn't get his act together. That's why he goes to that Narcotics Anonymous meeting and talks about how he's addicted to everything. It's like court, he has to go But whether he can stay sober or not, I mean, there's just a lot of funny elements to this TV show. I was recommended to watch this, Diego.
Ahora quiero verlo.
Mm-hmm.
Y yo tengo Prime. Ahora tengo una razón para usarlo finalmente. Que para ser honesto, mi Prime solo sirve para una cosa, un solo propósito en esta vida. El Prime Shipping. Nada más.
Has anyone seen the show in the chat?
A ver
What
si
do you
hay-
think, Pablo? Would you watch this?
Se ve bien.
O sea, voy a hacer una comparación rara. Ok. 56 millones. Iba a decir, me hace
Yoshi.
pensar un poco como, piensa si alguien quería hacer un Brooklyn Nine-Nine, ¿no?
Mm-hmm.
Pero como que un latino lo vio y dijo, puedo hacer algo mejor. Eso es lo que se siente. ¿Por qué estamos viendo Yoshi?
Tan, 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 tan. No, espera. Por
Oh,
cierto.
Yossi, not Yoshi. Yossi, sorry.
Yoshi. A mí, ya no traigas jerga acá, por favor.
Was this like a
Deberíamos.
drama?
Ni idea. Deberíamos hacer un gameplay de Yoshi's Woolly World. Tengo para la Wii U. Sería interesante. Sería divertido.
The Regretful Spy.
Siento
So
que algunos
Gonzalo wants us to check this out.
30-year-old Winston Glenn
Whoa.
is charged
Let's check this.
in the killing of Crystal Bayron Nieves during a robbery at Burger King.
27-year-old Brian Clay killed Ignacia Yadira Martinez and her 10-year-old daughter, Carla, with a claw hammer. Both victims had been raped.
What the fuck?
What?
Jesus.
¿Qué es lo que nos puede aportar? Información sobre la mayor conspiración criminal de la historia argentina.
Me imagino que está familiarizado con el plan Andinia, con los sionistas que quieren anexar nuestra Patagonia a Israel.
Tu misión es crecer dentro de la comunidad judía y acceder al corazón del poder sionista en la Argentina.
¡Hey!
Yo sí.
Well,
What?
Your people, man. What did they just say there?
Para que lo sepan, la Argentina le pertenece a Reino Unido. Espera, ¿qué? ¿Qué?
Y así comenzó una guerra.
Yeah, here we go, right?
Yo sí.
Tu único contacto voy a ser yo. Tenés que ser muy cuidadoso. Si te descubran no podemos hacer nada.
Hubo un atentado a la embajada de Israel.
Eso me complica a mí.
Estoy seguro que se esconde algo.
¿Hay una amenaza ahora?
Eso te sube el precio.
¿El de mi silencio o el de mi cabeza?
Gary Dean Robinson, who
What is? I don't think these. I think these are. I don't. Let me see. I don't think these are correct here.
Decime, querido, ¿qué te
Yeah,
dedicas?
someone. That's a
gente inteligente.
bullshit.
Dentro de la comunidad judía y
Let's
acceder
go
al
right back
corazón
to
del
the
poder sionista.
to the Jews.
Pidieron una misión que no quisieron confiarle a nadie más.
Tenés que ser judío en cuerpo y en alma. Vas a tener que ser más creativo. ¿Cómo pensás entrar?
Cantando.
Tenés que ser muy cuidadoso. Si te descubran no podemos hacer nada.
Hubo un atentado a la embajada de Israel.
Eso me complica a mí.
Estoy seguro que se esconde algo.
¿Están haciendo una serie
¿Hay una
sobre
amenaza
una
ahora?
mafia judía y no se trata de banqueros? Me siento ofendido.
Por si
Eso te
acaso,
sube el
para
precio.
que nadie
¿El
diga
silencio
nada,
o el de mi-
Pablito es de ascendencia, entonces puede decirlo.
Mi cabeza.
Pensé que solo escondías una ambición enorme. Pero no. Escondías algo mucho peor.
¿Algún otro talento oculto que me quieras mostrar, pichón?
Más
what do
el top.
You gonna see it?
Yo sí.
Estoy confundido.
Yo voy a verlo.
No sé
tengo
si
tantas
sentirme
preguntas.
ofendido o verlo como algo cómico.
Alguien ponga el meme la niñita que dice, ¿por qué no los dos?
No, no es South Park.
Mexican Iron Man. Está aquí. Hola, Mexican Iron Man.
Hola, Mike. Creo que Mike está más confundido que tú, Pablo.
Escena perdida en ese trailer. Dos judíos entrando en un bar.
No empecemos, no empecemos.
Wow. Luis, that's the best. That's the best comment of the morning.
Sí, no puedo. No, esto no. No, Diego, no.
Gonzalo says it's about the real Israel embassy bombing in 92 and the AMIA in 94.
Lo voy a poner así. Si es que vamos a hacer esa clase de chistes, al menos estoy yo que por derecho de abuela y madre puedo entrar a la fe judía abiertamente. Así que, ¿quieren hacer esos chistes? Los hacemos bien. No es entran dos judíos, entran dos rabinos a un bar.
Y comenzó. No, vamos a morir.
Ay, por Dios, ¿dónde vamos a parar?
No tengo ni la más remota idea.
Ay, necesitamos lojanos. Si es que tuviésemos los suficientes lojanos, podríamos hacer chistes de judíos todo el día y nadie nos podría cancelar.
Ya, Pablo, esa es tu misión.
Trae a toda la familia extendida. Venga, vamos a hacer que mamá Susan nos pegue.
Bueno, y para toda la gente que entiende español pero no es latina y pregunta por qué nos reímos, es porque en Latinoamérica nos burlamos de todo.
Miren, si es que quieren escuchar chistes sobre judíos, vayan a una comunidad judía. Si es que quieren escuchar chistes sobre negros, vayan a las comunidades negras. Y si es que quieren escuchar chistes de todos, vengan a Quito, maldita sea.
Ay, Dios mío, no.
Aquí no respetan a nadie.
¿Acaso oye? ¡Respeto! ¿Qué es eso?
Ay, hermano, te juro, nunca escuchas tantos chistes como en un funeral. Quito tiene una sal para eso.
Ay, Dios mío, es cierto. Yo admito, en el funeral de mi propio padre hice unos chistes bien oscuros, pero dije, pues, él estaría feliz de que yo los hiciera.
Pero claro.
Creo que si no lo hacía, me venía de la tumba solo para desheredarme. Ay, Dios mío.
Nos van a cancelar.
Tuvimos una buena vida.
Mamá
tú dices que nos
Susan,
van a
mira mi
cerrar el canal,
pelo.
pensé que decía que nos iban a matar.
We have a political moment here. Mexican Iron Man for $9.99. Mexican Iron Man es el líder de un movimiento nuevo. Latinos contra tacos bocosos. Hashtag no somos tacos.
¿Wotacosos?
Wotacosos. Órale, wotacosos. And here's a little moment here for you guys.
Oh,
We're
no.
trying. Yeah, I know.
Shuffle, stomp. Shuffle, shuffle. Have you got your maracas again? Playing the maracas. All this dance. Shake, shake. You shake today?
Si no nos cancelaron por los chistes.
As the breakfast tacos here in San Antonio.
¡Tú! ¡Alguien te voy a lavar y con tu
Thank you. Gracias.
Oh, no.
Gracias, Mike. Muchísimas gracias.
¿Cómo
No.
pasamos? Ok,
No
empezamos.
somos tacos.
Taquex.
Matar, 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 matar. Tony Galvan is on fire this morning.
Sí.
Jesus. On fire.
Chucha.
Ok, yo soy el primero en decirlo. Hollywood no nos ha dado mucho esta semana, se nota.
Ay, ¿qué nos dio? Thor.
People are
Apesta.
fucking stupid. Oh, did I
What?
say that? I'm sorry.
¿Ah?
I'm sorry. Nothing.
Ya me perdí.
The Tourette's. But aren't they?
Wait, but I didn't understand what was stupid.
People.
Ah, sí.
See. Is that part of
Dime
your
que-
triumphant return here, Diego?
Deja.
Ah,
Ya voy a
Retorno
sacar más
triunfo.
videos.
Amanecimos desayunando taco de payaso.
Ay, sí, de verdad, hablando de ese comentario de los tacos, de verdad. ¿Cómo dejan que haga eso? No entiendo. Pero ya, no somos un canal de política, somos de entretenimiento. Regresemos al entretenimiento, Diego.
Yo iba a decir
man.
que podemos ser canal de cocina, pero
Ah, sí, cocina, comida. Ah, no, Diego, no pienses en comida. Ya comiste. No seas goloso. Pero ya, tratando de retomarnos un poco. Ok. Primero hablemos de la noticia chiquita, ¿ya? Que es algo que también hablaba en el canal principal y es algo que Pablo dijo hace mucho tiempo, que es sobre los artistas de efectos especiales no quieren trabajar con Marvel.
¿cuánto tiempo voy diciendo eso?
Después de fase 2,
¿Por qué la gente no me hace caso cuando hablo de cosas, cuando tengo información interna en ese sector?
yo sé, Pablo, yo sé, pero por algo hemos llegado a este momento, te has reivindicado.
Adivinen que la cantidad de dinero que está dispuesto a pagar Disney por hacer efectos especiales, especialmente si es que eres un artista 3D, es miserable. Tienen programas en Latinoamérica para entrenar a artistas 3D, para entrenar a gente que haga animación. Se los llevan a los Estados Unidos con falsas promesas de comunismo y dinero. Y allá arruinan sus carreras y los desechan.
Ujú.
Y
Por
por
favor,
cierto,
sí.
¿alguna vez has notado en esa foto de GoldenEye que parece que James Bond tiene una boca gigantesca?
Sí. No voy a hacer
Grim.
chiste, pero
Grim.
pero bueno.
Hey,
Y-
Grim. Real fast. Are you here for Diego's triumphant return?
No fastidies o no habrá más videos.
Oh, don't get all offended, dude.
Como yo. Of
Give
course
us a
I
little
will.
bit of give us a little bebito fifi. Canta, canta. Canta.
No.
O
Porque
cantas
nos
o
demandan.
empezamos. O
Come
cantas o
on.
empezamos con que dos peruanos entran a un bar. No, espera, se acaban todos.
Tell us a joke. Dos judíos.
No, no voy a contar ese chiste, Diego. No.
Créanme, no quieren que cuente chistes al aire. Una de dos, o nos quedamos sin suscriptores o nos cancelan.
O todo a la vez. Ya, bueno, pero regresando a esto, quiero hacer
Yeah, let's go.
Quiero hacer un pequeño énfasis a la sección de aquí, que dice VFX artists call Marvel the worst, in quotations, client to work for.
Wow.
Por favor, disfrutemos este momento de reivindicación por el hecho de que Marvel ha sido llamado directamente y públicamente como malo. Y acá dice, primera parte, VFX artists are speaking out against Marvel, with many refusing to ever work with the entertainment giant again. This comes as artists share accounts of unworkable deadlines and immense pressure leading to the stress and unsatisfactory final products. Many have requested to never be put on a Marvel project again, saying that the studio has the worst VFX management out there. Ok. Primero, Pablo, antes de proseguir, ¿qué película que ha salido recientemente, no tan recientemente porque no puedo estar seguro, pero que tuvo un efecto visual tan malo, pero tan malo que los efectos de un PS1 eran mejores?
¿Recientemente o de Marvel? Porque de Marvel tienes a partir de Black Panther un montón.
Yo iba a decir recientemente de Marvel, porque para muestra. Y que tiene un doctor.
Black Widow.
Yo iba a decir Doctor Strange, pero bueno.
¿Viste los efectos de Black Widow?
Sí, todos sabemos el chiste en la cabeza.
No, hay cosas peores.
No, ya sé, pero es el que más
Señores,
recuerda el mundo.
si es que van a tener teselación en esa clase de circunstancias, váyanse al diablo. Existe muchas formas de, con inteligencia artificial, limitar la cantidad de pixelación y desfase de polígonos. Es fácil. Solamente tienen que contratar a alguien que sepa y pagarle bien.
Ajá. Bueno, y justo hablando de eso, un poco, para que tengan contexto el resto de la gente, esto fue en Reddit. ¿Ya? Si quieren leerlo, ahí estoy poniendo el subreddit. Y justo lo que más me importa es donde dice, I am quite frankly sick and tired of working on Marvel shows. Marvel has probably the worst methodology of production and FX management out there. They can never fix the look for the show before more than half the allocated time for the show is over. The artists working on Marvel shows are definitely not paid equivalent to the amount of work they put in. Ok, básicamente están diciendo que Marvel y su manejo en la producción con respecto a los efectos especiales en producción no es la mejor. Y no solo eso, sino básicamente parece que gastan mitad del tiempo de trabajo en estupidez y media antes de que finalmente digan, tenemos que corregir eso. ¿Alguien me puede explicar? Primero, porque acá tenemos que reconocer algo. Esto es un problema de dos lados. No es solo Marvel, sino también son los líderes de estas empresas de efectos especiales, ¿no? Que aceptan estos contratos sabiendo la reputación.
Ahí, por ejemplo, hay una pequeña cosa gigantesca. Muchos de estos estudios de animación digital y de efectos especiales son compañías sombrilla, compañías umbrella o Shell de Disney. Entonces, por ejemplo, si es que tú piensas, una de las razones principales por las que compró Lucasfilm, además de Star Wars, Disney, es por la cantidad de subcompañías que rotaban alrededor de Industrial Light and Magic.
Ya.
Primero es la cantidad de acciones que tienen en estas compañías, la cantidad de personal viejo que ha fundado estas compañías y la manera en la que evitan pagar ciertos impuestos, porque como estas compañías son, entre comillas, más pequeñas, a pesar de que le pertenecen parcialmente a los estudios grandes de efectos especiales, pueden hacer ciertas cosas, incluyendo, por ejemplo, en las de Canadá, evadir impuestos de algunas maneras interesantes, incluso ganar incentivos. En el caso de Canadá, en el caso de Georgia, tienen algunos beneficios especiales por usar estas compañías, pero estas compañías le pertenecen de cierta manera ahora a Disney, antes a Industrial Light and Magic. Además, están metidas muchísimo con empresas chinas de desarrollo de videojuegos. Entonces, no son totalmente separadas.
Ujú.
Y los dueños y jefes verdaderos están en Disney. o están en Tencent o empresas similares, ¿me entiendes?
Sí.
Entonces es una estrategia de mercado un poco...
No, me niego. Estamos ahorita en algo interesante. ¿Por qué distraes? Pablo, auxilio.
Canta, canta,
Canta, canta, canta,
No, me niego.
canta,
Me
canta,
niego.
canta, canta.
No me van a cambiar la opinión, soy necio.
Lo intentamos. Pero básicamente esa es la lógica. Puedes evadir impuestos, puedes obtener ventajas en los gobiernos y al mismo tiempo puedes tener un montón de empresas desechables. Entonces, no necesitas fundarlas necesariamente, solamente necesitas comprar acciones o invertir en los equipos que usa la empresa para poder llamarte un inversionista inicial y con eso tienes control sobre la empresa. Entonces, obviamente, con ese control también viene la parte de decir, nosotros podemos llegar a darte este contrato, tenemos estos contactos dentro de la industria, así que vas a trabajar, por ejemplo, directamente con Pixar, solamente van a hacer modelado, van a hacer aplique de texturas. Necesitamos que alguien se encargue de revisar que algunas cosas no salten, cosas así. Te dan el contrato por básicamente nada de dinero. Se termina el proyecto, despiden a los empleados que son los empleados que se quejarían. La empresa continúa funcionando por un tiempo vacía. Contratan a nuevo personal, normalmente gente que acaba de egresar de la universidad o que está buscando trabajo haciendo cosas en sitios como DeviantArt, como Tumblr, en la época antigua, ahora es gente que hace efectos especiales en TikTok. Los llaman a trabajar, los queman en la siguiente película y así tienen una rotación de personal barato y fácilmente descartable. Y como esta es una industria que tiene muchísimo interés del público, todo el tiempo hay gente egresando de las universidades y el tiempo hay gente empezando en esta carrera por su propia cuenta. Entonces hay muchísimas personas para destruir. Estas empresas te contratan, te usan y te botan rápido, incluso para evitar que llegues si es que eres un junior, que pases a un nivel de senior, que tengan que pagarte más. Y después de eso, quedas en un blacklist si es que hiciste mucho problema y ninguna otra empresa te va a contratar. Entonces, es sumamente turbio lo que está pasando a nivel de animación y a nivel de efectos especiales en Hollywood. Y es a nivel global. Aquí en el Ecuador hay unas cuantas empresas que se dedican con la Universidad San Francisco y con la UTPL a reclutar gente que acaba de salir de las universidades para trabajar para ellos haciendo limpieza de motion capture, limpieza de texturas y cosas así, y luego simplemente los descartan y se acabó. Y es gente que en el Ecuador no va a tener de nuevo trabajo en esos lugares.
Ok. Eso es heavy.
De nuevo, es el mundo de la animación en este momento y el mundo de los efectos especiales es sumamente denso. Yo no recomendaría a la mayoría de personas, al menos que lo vayas a hacer de manera independiente y te vayas a destacar de una manera ridícula, que le pongan todo su interés. Hay otras carreras en conjunto con las que pueden equilibrar. Entonces, si es que, por ejemplo, aprenden un poco de programación en lenguajes simples, pueden irse hacia esa rama, o si es que quieren aprender ilustración como tal y luego quieren pasar al mundo de la publicidad, en el mundo de la publicidad van a tener un poco más de esperanzas. No le den toda su energía a Disney porque les va a ir mal. Y T-shirt, hola.
T-shirted. Let me know if you want to hear Diego sing.
No.
Sí.
No,
Sí.
porque se me va a cortar el internet en 10 minutos, recuerda.
Yeah.
Yeah, pero por eso antes de quiero
But
terminar
so
esto
what?
antes de...
What? Give us a little English summary, real quick. What's the main problem here with your opinions?
Is that like in English, basically, I think it's a 2-point problem, meaning it's as much Marvel being inefficient, being a bunch of idiots, and I think like believing the Marvel magic, they can always fix, post and do it all last minute, right? And also the fact that companies sometimes accept the terms and don't really take into account the bad reputation, the fact that they know it's going to be difficult because the pay is good, but everything else sucks. In the article itself, there's mentions of people's marriages being destroyed. That's how harsh it is. Even this is one where it says they expect a smorgasbord of options so they can change their minds 3 more times.
Yeah, I would say that's like just an ongoing note in all the movies and TV shows is like the effects are just so like up and down. For the main part, down. There's just maybe yeah.
Yeah, I was talking a bit about how the market for that kind of job is moving right now. And for example, here in Ecuador, we have companies that actually work with Disney, work with different animation and game studios on the US. So they recruit the people that are just fresh out of the college, of the universities, on digital animation, on illustration, careers like that. They hire them, exploit them, and then throw them away. And since here in Ecuador, it's easy just to avoid getting them properly paid. For example, if you are going from a junior position to a senior position, or you are escalating on the work, they can just throw you away and hire someone that is fresh. So each year they have actually a lot of people for that job because, well, digital arts are really interesting for the job right now. So they have a lot of people going to the universities. They hire them, then throw them away, and basically they get blacklisted from working again. So that is something that happens a lot with these companies. And that, as I know, it happens in other countries too a lot. And basically Disney just hire this chain of studios to make their effects because they partially own them or have people that work on Disney that have given money to fund these studios or to invest in these studios. And the catch is we will give you also the contacts so you can get into Hollywood and work with us, but it's actually a honeypot, and it's a way to just entrap them and use the personnel quickly and discard them. So it's a really dirty business right now what's going on with Disney, what's going on with companies like EA, like Ubisoft. It's a crappy position right now. And we have breaking news.
It's connected to Marvel. I don't know if you guys
Let's do it.
Want it now, and I know our chat's going to be very excited about this. Via discussing film and Tom of Midnight's Edge. Are you guys ready for this?
A ver.
What did
Breaking
they do now?
news. The sequel to Eternals is in the works at Marvel Studios with Chloe Zhao returning to direct.
Mua, 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 mua.
Tengo muchas preguntas. Primero, ¿cómo haces una secuela cuando creo que mayoría del cast original técnicamente lo has matado?
Perdieron 200 millones con esa película. ¿Qué tanto necesitan perder para entender?
Creo que solo
Segundo, son androides. ¿Cómo es que un androide no puede ser reparado para arreglarle su audición? Instálenle nuevo software de habla. De paso le pueden instalar boobies nuevas. Digo yo, no. Son androides.
Además que uno ya no es un androide, le hicieron humano, recuerda. ¿Por qué? Why? Why? No entiendo. O sea, honestamente, no entiendo. La película no tuvo impacto. La gente lo hace un chiste. Yo, mira, fuera de bromas, más gente yo he puesto que hay más gente demandando por de verdad una segunda película de Shang-Chi que es una segunda película de esto, y eso no es decir mucho.
¿Sabes? Por esto no estoy tan seguro de que Jefe quiera cambiar la dirección en la que va la empresa. Esto me suena a una decisión que estuvo algún tiempo esperando ser tomada. Me suena a que es una decisión sumamente política y es una decisión que yo hubiese descartado inmediatamente siendo JPEG simplemente en la base de que perdieron 200 millones de dólares.
Por favor, Pablo, hazlo más, enfatiza más.
200
Ahí está,
millones.
peor aún.
No sé cómo enfatizarlo más, créeme, 200 millones es lo suficiente como para hacer una película nueva. De
Buzz
lo que te dé
Lightyear
la
costó
gana.
200 millones.
Puedes hacer 4 películas de Joker.
A ver, ¿qué otra película sabemos que sea buena? Creo que puedes hacer 2 películas de Minions con eso.
Sí.
I got through 15 minutes of this Eternals last year. That was it. And I will not see Thor.
You're lucky. I saw it. It's terrible.
Yes. Ah, Dios mío. Me encanta Tom, su reacción. No, sin palabras.
And sorry, Gonzalo, but I did put it in the private chat, so I did not interrupt.
No, he didn't.
Por cierto,
Pablo asked for the breaking news.
Sí, esta es una de las películas en las que quemaron un montón de personal para estudios de animación y la animación en esta película era terrible.
¿Había animación? No es broma, en serio, mi pregunta es real. ¿Había animación?
Pauli, ¿recuerdas qué actriz latina estaba en esta película? Pauli, do you remember which
one?
Latin actress was on this movie, on The
Salma?
Eternals? Salma Hayek. Yeah.
Salma, yeah.
What is one of the reasons why everybody knows Salma Hayek?
Her chichis?
Correct. No, in the Eternals, somehow they got Salma Hayek and her chichis, and they ruined her chichis with bad animation.
What?
Yeah, that happened.
Wait, they got her to take off her top in the Eternals?
No.
Oh.
It looked like she had some weird kind of silicone-based heavy-duty material instead of her natural wonderful chichis.
Ah. That's a waste.
Yep. That's the quality of animation that you can expect from people that don't want to pay their employees. So,
wait, they didn't want to pay Salma's chichis to be on the Eternal, so they did CGI chichis. I mean,
I'm not sure, but I will say this: Salma's chichis are worth every penny. So pay them. Pay them all.
How can you de-emphasize Chi-Chis, man?
Marvel.
Okay, Diego's got to go.
Yep. Bueno, muchachos, desafortunadamente por hoy no puedo quedarme. Mi internet lo van a cortar. Pero voy a dejarles algo nomás. No es la
¿Estás en
canción,
Canadá?
pero no.
Boo.
Pero viene un nuevo video hablando
Yeah.
sobre la BBC y por qué es malo. Eso más diré. Después haré más. Entonces, nos vemos, muchachos. Hasta la próxima. See you guys.
Nos vemos.
All right, brother. Take care.
Tony,
Adios.
exactamente. Pay the chichis.
I mean, should I watch that movie? Should I finish watching The Eternals? I heard there's a sex scene in there.
No, well, between a man and a man. So if you're into
No.
that, it's just a kiss, but they try to make it seem like they were going to do something more. It was really stupid. Really, really stupid.
It looks like we fell for a joke here. Thank God.
¿Es Día de los Inocentes?
Thank you, Gonzalo. MCU supporters fall for cruel Eternal sequel troll. I guess it's not true.
Ay, esto es buena suerte.
Yeah, that's good news.
Yeah.
That's good news.
Especialmente después de todo lo que pasó con esa película. Yesterday I saw Thor Walk and Walker.
Okay. So what is your Thor review?
They had several characters turn gay.
Mhm.
I'm not joking. Gore, the Taika Waititi character,
Mhm.
that is a rock, gets solid for men.
Thor, a rock gets hard. What?
Yeah,
And
that's
here
one.
Here to explain more why Korg is a hard-on rock for. Does he like other male rocks, or just
Yeah, one really burly with a mustache.
Tom of Midnight's Edge?
He likes his rocks 80s gay.
Exactly.
You know, like Freddie Mercury mustache wearing, tank top wearing, tight shorts.
Right.
Rocky hugging Apollo on the beach gay. Yeah.
It's
Dude,
not a joke.
That's not gay, man. That's like brothers, man, running.
No. I watched Rocky 3 and
Again?
I think it beat Top Gun for the gayest film of all time.
80s gay. 80s gay.
Totally 80s gay, yes.
Because they're calling RRR gay as well now. So
for Pete's sake.
Right on time.
I just thought I'd let
Edge.
you guys know that
Hola.
Eternals news came from a parody website. So
Yeah.
Thank God.
Gonzalo just pointed that out. And we picked that up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ah,
so
crap.
that's
They
good
were
news.
supposed to not say anything until I got in here, but
Oh, I'm sorry.
no, it's all right.
I'm sorry. But we just started our Thor reviews, so you're right in time.
Oh Lord, what did y'all think of Thor?
It was a garbage pile. It had some decent enough jokes here and there. It was like a 40% actually functional, a 30% just a waste of my time, and the other 30% was absolute garbage. And I mean, it was horrid. How can you waste so many good characters in so little time when they were in the city of the gods? God damn, that was so stupid.
Let me translate. El Stupido.
Correcto.
Was that even close?
It's pretty good.
Sí, bastante estúpido. Demasiado. Ay, maldita película.
So what about the whole thing with her, Thor, Thor and King, all that stuff.
It was a comedy about terminal cancer.
What?
It's not a joke. The whole movie is a comedy about terminal cancer.
Don't forget about kidnapping and kid death.
Yeah, Kristen Bale was really creepy there.
Well, his kid dies, and then he kidnaps kids. Yeah.
I was just hoping for a moment when he starts, woohoo, Chimona, or something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was really, really creepy, man. That whole stuff. Yet you have somebody that is killing guts and is attacking as guardian, so you can have that as the motivation why Thor wants to get revenge on Gore and having basically hunting him in a way. Instead, they kidnap the children, and the children are all funny and cozy in a cage made out of shadow monsters.
Yeah.
That was so stupid. And by the way, the whole story is about how Thor gets a foster daughter that is better than him in any way possible. That
I'm
was
sorry,
the
what
whole
was that?
story. The whole story is about how Thor gets that foster daughter, right?
Yeah.
And
I
she's
guess we're
better
doing
than
spoilers.
yeah. She's better than him in any way possible. She can handle Mjolnir. She can handle a Stormbreaker. She has the powers of eternity. So basically, she's a god above gods. And she's a little girl that can beat Thor in a second. And that's the joke. That's the whole joke of the movie. It was really stupid.
I mean, is there anything entertaining about the film? I didn't see it. Yeah.
There's a couple of decent jokes, and there's a few visual effects at the beginning that are interesting. The goats are funny for the first 10 minutes there, and then it's all a waste of time.
What do you think, Paulie?
No, like I said, I didn't see it yet.
Well, then why
And
are we
this
talking
was-
about it?
No, this is I'm not gonna see it. That's the whole thing. And this is Pablo and Diego's reviews, and then you came.
Where's
in.
Diego?
Oh, he's claiming he wouldn't sing for us, so he bailed out saying bad internet. Because everyone in the chat wanted him to sing.
What were they trying to get him to sing?
El Bebito Fui Fui.
I don't know
Pew,
that
pew.
one.
Fui Fui. Popo. Yeah.
It's a terrible song from Peru.
Okay.
Yeah. So you saw it, Tom.
Yeah, it's like a 5 out of 10.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the worst Marvel movie ever, but it's definitely not anywhere near the best. And I mean, it kind of makes Thor: Dark World better.
Yeah, surprisingly, is the worst Thor movie, and that's saying a lot.
Other than that, it's just, the jokes didn't land. The story was definitely uneven. I mean,
even in the trailer, the jokes were lame.
I mean, and I loved Ragnarok, right? Like, I totally loved Ragnarok.
Yeah, it was a rad movie.
I know some people who didn't like Ragnarok, but it's like at this point, you can't really recommend this to anybody who didn't like that one. You can't recommend it to anybody who did. It's not really the same kind of humor. I mean, it is, but it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
At least in Ragnarok, a lot of the humor was coming out of the moment. Like, people have been comparing this to, like, Family Guy, and I think that's a little more accurate, I guess, in a way. It just feels like a bad sitcom where all the stupid one-liners were left in that should have been cut out. And the the context within the film is just, I mean, it could have been done better.
What about Christian Bale? Because I was thinking like he's a reason for me to go see it, but now I'm like, I really don't care.
He was fine, but then if you learn anything about the character that he's playing, it's like a real letdown, because then you're like, oh, that's kind of lame, because they really kind of nerf him quite a bit in this movie.
Yep.
And it almost kind of goes against the movie. Like, there's things about the original character that if they would have used them, would have went with the movie a little bit more. And I mean, story-wise, it's not like the story's that bad. It's a decent story. I wish it would have made more sense that if this was the second Thor film, right? Instead of Dark World, they made this instead. Then just maybe it would have made more sense, because it ties into the first film better. Because basically the lesson that Thor has learned in the first movie is the reason that Gore hates gods. So it kind of ties into that a little bit. So I feel like that was a lost opportunity. And I mean, it kind of takes away from the weight of what's going on to Jane by making everything a joke. It reminds me of Amazing Spider-Man 2, when you go from Blue Man groups singing Dump Step Itsy Bitsy Spider to the death of Gwen Stacy within 5 minutes. It just doesn't register that well. And what could have been a very sweet and they could have went to a lot of different places emotionally, but the humor in this movie and the tone they try to carry throughout really just undercuts all of that.
No joke, there's a moment when she says, I have cancer, and Thor goes, oh, that's funny.
So, man, this is besides Spider-Man this past year, what's been great for Marvel?
I mean, there more people I've been talking to are kind of just sitting there debating if this or Doctor Strange is worse. Right? Like,
that's what broke it for me.
Like,
that really broke it.
I mean, there's some points where I'm like, yeah, well, maybe Doctor Strange is a little better. But then sometimes I'm just like, I don't know.
Oh, because you saw both?
Yeah. Well, this one was just obnoxious, right? Like, that's the thing that this one has going against it more so than Doctor Strange. They're both about the same level of story. And they're kind of like meandering films that could have been better, but they could have been a hell of a lot worse too. But the problem then is just that this is supposed to be Marvel, right? Like, and it just feels like we're at this level of like the late 90s comic book movies just before X-Men and Spider-Man, right? And that's why I agree with the assessment that this is basically like the Batman and Robin of the Thor series. And I feel like that's definitely its place where we're at right now. It feels like movie-wise. Because outside of Spider-Man in the last year, really, I mean, I find Morbius entertaining, but morbidly entertaining, right?
Yeah.
But like, that's the level we're at now again. We're at that like 1996, 97 level of comic book movies again, where we're getting Steel and all that shit, right?
Yeah, Morbius for me was something from the early 2000s. I mean, something on Blade Trinity kinda style that is actually fun. You just
Well,
need
I wouldn't
to...
say Morbius is that bad, but yeah. At least Morbius is entertaining. Blade Trinity is just boring.
I find a lot of things to enjoy on Blade Trinity, but I saw it when I was a teenager, so
I had a lot of fun watching Morbius in the theater.
Yeah, Morbius for some reason, as bad as it is just it's just entertaining.
It's just entertaining. It's simple bad. You know, it's
you can laugh at it, right?
Yeah,
like
and you know, it doesn't try to be anything else than that. It's and then he's discovering his powers. He's having a weird time, fun time. I liked it, man. I was not great.
People have asked me if it's the Room of comic book movies, and I'm like, yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Because they clearly are like, because if you watch Morbius, they are trying as desperate as they can to be as serious as possible. And that's what makes it entertaining, right? Is they have no clue how bad the movie they're in is.
Yeah.
And that's what makes The Room entertaining. This, on the other hand, it's so tongue-in-cheek, wink, wink at the camera that you can't even get that, like, entertainingly badness out of it. It just feels very flat, which really sucks for how colorful it is and the music and the way it's kind of shot. I mean, some of the volume stuff that they shot in front of, you can tell kind of feels flat. And then there's other scenes where you can tell everybody's in front of a green screen and they just don't seem to fit together. Like there is even a bit out there right now with Taika Waititi and Tessa Thompson where they're talking about the special effects and they're looking at it and they're making fun of the movie and how bad it looks. It's like, dude, that's your guys' own movie. And then it's really looking bad when you've got the accusations coming out now that people don't want to work for Marvel and they're overworked and all this other stuff. It's like, wow. Yeah, I don't know. And then coming off of how many movies here where a lot of us have complained about the lackadaisy special effects that are in a lot of the Marvel movies now. I mean, this movie probably had some of the better special effects of the last few movies, but this one also cost $250 million.
Wow.
And I'm still looking at it going, where did that money go? It's all green screen and volume, right? Like, it's not like they didn't even shoot in Norway. They shot in Northern Ireland or whatever it was for Norway.
Australia.
Or was it Australia? I thought.
Yeah, those scenes were on Australia.
Okay, Andre said it was Ireland, but all right.
No,
or maybe it was that. No, you're right. That was something else I was thinking.
Yeah, they were filming Shang-Chi and Thor back to back. So basically, they hired a huge place on Australia just to get those shots of everything that was actually nature and having houses and all that. And everything else was either on the volume or on the studio. I'm not sure if it was the one on Georgia or it was the one on Canada, because they actually had a lot of funding. I even saw it was the Quebec Bank or something like that on the credits. So I
real
don't
quick,
know.
Real quick, we have a poll I put up in the chat. Which is the best of these three movies? Doctor Strange 2, Shang-Chi, Thor, Love and Thunder.
I haven't seen Shang-Chi, so I can't answer that. I only watched the first few minutes. And there was my complaint there is that the CGI was just so bad in those first few minutes. It's like, why would I want to watch a kung fu karate fight that's animated?
So I haven't seen Thor, but for the very same reasons as Morbius, I could at least enjoyed myself with Shang-Chi. I didn't enjoy myself at all with Doctor Strange. At all.
Yeah.
There was nothing to like about I mean, I love Benedict, but, you know, for me, comparatively, just as far as a movie time, you know, I know there's a lot of Shang-Chi hate. I had fun. There was a lot of fun stuff in it. But listen, I know the bar's low.
Yeah, I can tell you why Doctor Strange was the worst of them all, and it's easy. They wasted Sam Raimi, and the other night the last couple of weekends, I saw Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2. The same wonkiness on the camera, the same weirdness on the handling of the characters, but well managed. You can see that Sam Raimi was trying to do something special there, and those movies shine every single time you watch them. You can find enjoyment, and you can see some scenes on Doctor Strange that had that, but then you know that they wasted Sam Raimi for the rest of the movie, and that's a crime. So that's the reason why that movie is the worst of the bunch. Alf Jeeves. Oh no.
Black Panther's not up here, but okay.
Black Panther was indeed boring, and the CGI on that movie was so terrible. That was really insulting. It was supposed to be this momentous movie that everybody wanted to see because it was a cultural phenomenon and everything, and you see the last fight and it's PS2 graphics. That was so insulting.
Pat S, it's not my own poll, it's the poll for everyone, and yes, I get one vote, and fuck yeah, I voted for Shang-Chi. So get off my back, Pat S. Love you.
Shang-Chi had some enjoyable moments. The issues are somewhere else, including the destruction of a lot of the characters from Chinese mythology just for the hell of it. And Hillsboro, you missed Diego singing.
Well, it seems like the destruction of a lot of stuff, Marvel does that really well in general. It seems like they're going to be doing that with Namor. So that is going to be a shit show, man, of Mesoamerican proportions. So everyone's, you want to read this one for us, Diego?
Shang-Chi para mí es la que menos jodió a mis personajes favoritos. Las otras dos solo arruinaron el Doc y Thor. Again, Pauli, such a hard question.
Yeah, I know. It's almost not fair. I mean, I didn't even put Eternals up there. I mean, I think now what we're doing, Tom, you could say is that we're rating the bottom of the barrel here, the last year. You add Black Widow, you add the Eternals. I would take out Spider-Man.
Well, even when you get to the bottom of the barrel, there's going to be a few decent ones here and there. And that's what I was comparing it to, like, because that hype of the 90s was all built off of Batman in 89, right?
Mm.
And at that point, we had a ton of them. And you had your Judge Dreads and your Tank Girls and your, like I said, Steel you had earlier. Like I said, Spawn even came out and all these other ones. And even Spawn wasn't that great. I mean, so that's the thing is they were all kind of getting crappy. I mean, sure, we had Blade on the horizon and stuff like that, but
you had the excuse of the 90s.
Yes and no. At the same time, that was still at a point where they weren't quite taking these seriously enough, or they weren't utilizing them in a way they could be. And that's kind of what we keep saying here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like, this could have been a much more touching and endearing story. Like, you even brought up the daughter thing, Pablo. Like, it's like, what the fuck? At the end of the movie, it's his real daughter, so they should have some chemistry. And the scene comes off as obnoxious. The first thing they do is just, she's completely obnoxious to him. And I'm like, you could have done this in a way that would have been completely, could have been hilarious. Like, we came up with a couple scenarios last night on toxic femininity. Because, like, in the scene, she paints Mjolnir with, like, makeup and shit. Like, you could have had him doing that to him while he was sleeping and completely unaware of it, right? Like, you know, like little girls do. And that would have made it a little bit more endearing and funny. No, she's completely fucking obnoxious and you don't really like her. And so you're like, why are we supposed to like this character? We've seen her die and be a bitch to Thor. That's about it. Like,
and there was a really good resolution for that situation. Instead of making Eternity the daughter, Jane is dying, right? So there's a soul there. You can make so the soul is used to resurrect the daughter, and the daughter of Gore is actually the soul of Jane. So in a way, Thor is taking care of Jane in another way. He is not being his lover. Instead, he's taking as she's partly his daughter because he's her. So it's an extension of her living. There was something there that they could have done to make it emotional, to make you feel that there's a connection between the girl and Thor. But,
well, the whole thing with Jane is stupid anyway, because even those who are saying, well, it kind of makes sense. It does to a point, but it's not really protecting her like he asks it, Mjolnir, dude. It's really making it worse.
Yeah.
And so to me, it's like that kind of is stupid. And at the end of the movie, they should have had it to where Mjolnir was like, here was the other thing is there should have been a way that, and here's the problem with films like this when they deal with these kind of problems. When you go to a film like this, when you have fantasy elements and magical elements and you got gods and all this shit, why wasn't she cured somehow by the end of the film? Right? I think a better message could have been like her cure was somewhere in like Gore's curse. Like what was killing him could possibly save her or something like that. You know, find some way to work that into the story. Because then at the end of the movie, I think it's a more positive message for the daughter to have a family to go to.
Yeah,
You know.
there's another solution. Eternity is supposed to grant a wish, right?
Yeah.
Hey, let's put a quick pause on that real fast. I just want to give a shout out to Gonzalo. He gifted 5 Midnight Edge
Thank you,
Espanol
Gonzalo.
memberships.
Thanks, brother.
And he gifted Jorge Chiriani. Hola, Jorge. War
Caballero.
Monkey was gifted. Danny TV was gifted. Very
Bien.
cool. Very cool. Muchísimas gracias. Thanks again, Gonzalo. Y tenemos movie nights with people such as Tom and Andre, Paul Chato, Mexican Iron Man. They come and hang out with us. We watch great movies from Latin America, or maybe some old school movies like Street Fighter. But we'll have a movie night real soon. What are we gonna watch? El Chisperito or
Yeah, we were talking about watching episodes of El Chavo.
El Chavo? Right.
Yeah.
We got to get Tom to watch that with us.
Oh, yeah, that will be a blast. You have never seen El Chavo del Ocho, right, Tom?
Tom?
I wouldn't even know how to say it.
Oh, I don't know if the Chespirito state will strike us, so I don't dare to show it on stream, but I will show you later. It's a really, really fun series from Latin America, and at one point it was in more screens than anything made in the US. So it was translated to Japanese, it was translated to Korean, it was on Africa, it was on Europe, everywhere. And it was cheap as dirt. So TV stations will get the whole series to how you say retransmitir, basically to syndicate for a long time. So
that's
they
it.
will buy years in advance of just that show running every single day.
Those are the other two that were claimed: Alf Jibas and Pat S.
Nice.
Muchísimas gracias, Gonzalo. So what were you guys? Where were you guys at with the review?
Oh yeah, I was talking about the wish. There's a solution with the wish that is actually really simple. Gore was supposed to have a wish, right? So he can wish for the happiness of the people in that place at that moment. His daughter gets back to life. Jane gets cured. And the daughter becomes the foster daughter of both Thor and Jane. And you have that dynamic. And you can keep Jane. She's alive still because they use the eternity magic. And you have the daughter that is back, and Gore is just paying his sin by dying. So you have a solution for every one of the characters in front of eternity, and you have something that it was. They actually say that was one of the things that Thor feared about being with Jane, her mortality and having a family with her being mortal. No, they have a daughter. That's a simple solution. And Jane is partly a god now because of the power, so she can live with Thor and they can take care of their foster daughter.
That's what I mean. Like, it makes no sense, right? Like, you have, because that's kind of her whole thing in the beginning. For those who don't know, and Polly who hasn't seen it, is she's trying to cure herself for a while there, and then between talking to Kat Dennings and some other things, she gets this idea that maybe she can mix some magic with the science and pulls the Thor card. Well, then later on in the film, she says that Mjolnir was calling to her. So it's kind of a wonky way of setting it up. But like, yeah, the whole thing comes from way back when they were dating. Supposedly, Thor told the hammer to make sure that she's always protected. Well, it just doesn't make sense because every time she turns to Thor, she's not getting any better. She just has those powers, but it's actually stopping the chemo from helping her and her body from actually recovering. So it's like this whole like yeah, turning to Thor is going to kill you. And then you get to the end and they're like, if you do it one more time, it's probably going to kill you. And she does it anyways to go save Thor, basically.
Yeah,
it's kind
she's
of
the-
like, yeah.
In the
Sounds
Thor movie,
awful.
yeah,
What
she
an
takes
awful
the final.
movie.
Yeah, she actually defeats the bad guy. She is the one that kills Gore. So Thor didn't win on his movie. It was
So
Jane.
real fast, there's a poll in the chat. Of these three, which one was your favorite? And we know they're not all really great. Some people liked others than more, but the choices are Thor, Love and Thunder, Doctor Strange 2, Shang-Chi. So go ahead and vote. We have a lot of votes. That's cool. Gracias.
Chincholin. And don't try to play the racist card with a Marvel property because you saw Moon Knight. Chinchung Chan, we too low. They were talking Mandarin.
We could see the Spanish version of Dracula for Tom.
Nice. Yeah, that will be actually really good.
Well, actually, Tom was with us for Cantinflas, but then you had to bail, and then Chato came in. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, there's other Cantinflas movies.
Yeah, actually, I enjoy the. Well, I mean, I technically like the American version better, but I appreciate the Spanish version of Dracula for its. You know, I did a little bit more with the camera. It was a little bit more racy.
Mm-hmm.
It's all shot on the same, sets and stuff like that. But I think they tweaked some of the costumes and a few things. But so if I remember right, from my memory anyway, like they have like a bit of cleavage and stuff in the Spanish version that's not in the other one. But it's a little bit more sexier, like I said. I know that.
Well,
yeah, it's been a while since I checked that one out. Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about Salma Hayek's Chi-Chis earlier.
Hey, well, those are Chi-Chis to be adored.
Well, they weren't even like properly used, if I can say that.
But I'm sure many men have
Eternals.
properly used them.
Hi-oh!
Nice.
Hi-oh!
Joker.
Yeah.
No, that's one of the issues that I had with Thor. They have the whole Thor being naked and everything. They never have any sexiness on the woman's side. And in the theater
Damn,
was
he's
almost empty.
10 years younger than my mom.
Who's that?
Sorry, I was talking to somebody else here. Sorry.
It's all right, man. Oh, Pablo,
This is what
continue.
happens when I'm dealing with like 20 things at once.
Right.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Continua, Pablo.
I was just told
the-
something by somebody else that was, yeah. Sorry.
The girls that were in the theater, they were like, "Ooh, nice," watching Thor's ass. But then you never had a moment. So the boys that went to the movie were like, that's let's say, Valkyrie. I know Tessa Thompson is annoying as hell, but she has a good ass. Show it. She had a scene where she was trying to flirt with a woman. Okay, do it in a sexy way. Make it so it's fun for everyone. But instead, they didn't have fun for everyone. They had only fun for the ones that would like that ass. And then it was all about gay, 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 gay. And I mean it. Every character ended up being gay in a way or another. The only one that was into women was Thor, and the woman died. So, yeah. It was a terrible movie. What can I say? It was a really terrible movie. There was some. Spoiler, they show Hercules.
Mm-hmm.
It was a wasted
At the very
character.
end, yeah.
Yeah.
Was that Russell Crowe?
Russell Crowe's supposed to be his son in the movie, yeah.
Oh, right. They showed it.
Because Russell Crowe's playing Zeus, yeah.
Right.
But he's all worried about the orgy, so.
Yeah, but there has been a rivalry on the comics between Thor and Hercules for a long, long time. So there's a lot of fun fights, including one where actually Hercules dresses as Thor, and Thor just begs him to stop being a stupid ass on that fight. And he's like, because Thor is dressed as Hercules and Hercules is dressed as Thor, he's like, no, see that Hercules has bested Thor, and it's a really stupid fight, but they have those moments of just fun. Instead of that, Hercules is going to kill Thor because Thor kinda killed Zeus, but Zeus is not dead, and that movie. Just don't watch it. You know, that's my review. Don't watch it. Don't waste your time. There's no
I've heard
need for
Top
that
Gun's
movie.
real good.
Yeah.
Go see that, I guess.
I've seen it twice.
Or the has anybody seen the Minions movie yet? I don't know. I haven't seen it past like the first or second
want
one.
to.
I've got really no interest. I want to see Elvis, and
I've been hearing mixed things on that one, but yeah.
And I know Romy last week they went to go see the Black Phone. I mean, they really enjoyed it. The only thing was saying was that they never explained Ethan Hawke's backstory character.
Do you want to hear something really fun?
She wanted like a little bit of backstory, like 30 seconds or something. Yeah. What's up, Pablo?
Okay, I'm on the Cinemark page for my city. Top Gun Maverick has two showings today. Is still on theaters. Has 2 showings. Lightyear has 1.
Oh, Lightyear was another one I did not see.
Yeah.
There's a lot of movies, Tom, I'm just not seeing right now.
Not very many people saw Lightyear.
I mean, or just I'm consciously like either going to see, different Indian films or, dramas. I don't know what, but I mean, Top Gun I saw twice in the theater. That was fantastic.
I want to see the Minions movie because Despicable Me 1 and 2 are really, really good. And I mean, it's fun as hell. So those movies I enjoy. A friend of mine had the Blu-rays, and we will play them every single time we were just chilling. Are movies just to chill that has so many stupid jokes. I love them. So I want to see Minions. Here on theaters, you have Thor, you have Minions, you have the Black Phone, you have Lightyear that is on. It only has 1 showing, so that means they are about to get it out of the cinemas. Jurassic World Dominion that has 2 showings, and Top Gun Maverick that has 2 showings. So that means that those 2 movies are still making money.
Oh, I have a question. I had fun watching Jurassic. How's Thor compared to Jurassic?
Jurassic is way better.
Yeah, Jurassic may be longer, but it's a lot more fun. I mean, it wasn't a great film, but it was at least better than this shit. Like,
no, but there's
it's the best. It's probably the best of the recent trilogy, I guess. If you look at it that way, but no, I mean, I think I gave it a 6 out of 10. So it's just marginally better, but yeah, I mean, as far as the tentpole films this year, if you've already seen Top Gun, you've already seen Minions, Jurassic World is probably worth a matinee.
Yeah. I will put you this is the scenario. The bad guys on Jurassic World are basically Apple, Monsanto, Pfizer mixed on one, and the boss on that movie is Tim Cook directly. There's nothing to do there. It's Tim Cook. So just for that, I enjoy it a lot that part of the movie. They have a lot of callbacks to other parts of Jurassic World and Jurassic Park, and it's just stupid. They are not trying to make something intelligent or show you that they are smart and have really interesting things to say. They are just bad guy is bad because he wants to control the world population and the food Oh no, it was not Tim Cook. It was Bill Gates.
Hey, real fast, we're just giving some reviews on stuff we've seen this year recently. Also, there's a poll in the chat. Welcome everyone to Midnight's Edge Espanol. I know right now we're speaking a lot of English. Our guest is Tom of Midnight's Edge. 42% think out of these three, Shang-Chi is the best one. Then Doctor Strange, 39%. Thor, Love and Thunder, 18%. Man, no one liked Thor.
I could pull out Google Translator.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Let's also really fast give a.
So we're not talking so.
Give a congratulations, Felici.
Yeah, he's gonna probably hit $1 million today. So congratulations, dude. That's amazing.
I'm hyped for that. I'm really hyped.
Now he'll never answer my emails. He already didn't answer.
Eric July, congratulations, brother, and to your whole team. The Ripperverse campaign. It's almost to $1 million. I don't even think it's been 24 hours. And
they did most of that last night.
Yeah. I'll when payday comes, I will sign up and support. Absolutely. Congratulations from Midnight's Edge Español y la gente aquí. That's what does that tell you guys? What does that tell you guys? And I know Tom, you're like one of the OGs of this community, brother. I mean, has to make you feel good.
Well, it's the next step. It's logically what we've been saying. And I think we're all probably a little amazed by, I don't think anybody expected this kind of response, but hey, that's great. It just shows that people are thirsty for new entertainment. And if they trust where it's coming from, they will probably buy it. And I guess it's up to 996 now. And yeah, they're predicting by the end of the day, it'll hit $1 million, which is brilliant. I don't think he considers himself Comicsgate at all. So this would be one of the first outside of Comicsgate to do this, I believe. So that's amazing. So yeah. And not only that, just the following that Ripa has helps. And that's where it just goes to show, fans will follow you if you make stuff they like and you don't, treat them like garbage, basically. And no, yeah, like this is a good sign for anybody in the fellowship who's hoping at some point that we could eventually start doing our own things. This is it. It takes a lot of work and a lot of time and stuff like that. But no, I'm surprised by how successful it is, but not at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But the upside is he already has most of it like ready to go. So it's not like people are going to be waiting a year or two to get their books and stuff like that. Unlike some other campaigns that we've heard of in the past. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
And we were talking about merchandising on Nick's channel a long time ago because we were discussing what does Ripa needs to actually succeed on this. And yeah, my comment was merchandising where the real money from the movie is made. So and he has all the merchandising ready. He knows how to cater to the public that he is going for. And he has been going against Comicsgate actually, because he says that there's no consistency, that they are lazy, that they don't deliver, and he's writing a lot of that stuff.
Well,
but
I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I think we should just be supportive and not be blindly supportive. If there are fulfillment issues, send those complaints over to them. It's really tough. It's really tough. But if you set your business,
He's making
yeah.
exactly what he said.
No, I understand that. I understand, but he's, Comicsgate, they were the first. And the first ones always learn the most.
Yeah.
They make the most mistakes, and it's not that because that they're, what's the word I'm looking for? That they don't care, or they're, it's just, it's kind of like, baptism under fire. I think as we move along, they're going to get better and better with fulfillment. And now you can see that Ripper really, learn from that, and he's taking it in. Customer service is a tough thing.
Okay.
And 6, no, you are not alone. I know you loved Thor, and I'm just saying with our voting poll 6, but we love you.
You are not alone. There, that help? I don't want to give R. Kelly any more money, so be careful.
Oh, yes.
Not that he can collect it now, I think, but yeah.
We love you, 6.
Yeah, Michael sang it, but R. Kelly wrote it, for those who are like, what the fuck is he talking about?
18% of your audience. Damn, 6 really, I said I was sorry.
She may be 6, but she's actually 18% of your audience.
Hey, what can you say? She liked that ass.
There you go. We just ended the poll. Thank you all for voting. Okay, well, where were we?
I mean, as far as somebody liking the movie, I mean, outside of some plot holes and a few things, I can't blame anybody because humor is subjective, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, is just because a lot of people didn't necessarily find the movie humorous or didn't enjoy the story that was in it. I can't really knock the story too hard outside of a few plot points that are a little bit like the whole idea of needing the Bifrost to get to eternity was like, well, there's a lot of things that can open the Bifrost. And the whole thing with like Hemdall's son being able to communicate with Thor, it's like he can up until the very end when it could really be used, like then all of a sudden he can't for some reason without explanation. But I don't know if there's things that wound up on the cutting room floor, because here's one of my new buttons I added to the thing. And here's the problem that I have, and I think a lot of people have with the movie, even though I can understand why a lot of people do enjoy it.
The story was sacrificed for jokes.
And then,
yeah.
Was that
the
real?
Story? Yes, the story was sacrificed for jokes.
Yeah. My thing with Taika,
and for context, what he was we're talking about was that was when he was asked about the director's cut.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, there's like a 4 hours cut of it, but like we had to cut it down. And basically they left in all the jokes, but took out all the stories, kind of what he's saying.
And by the way, the Bifrost being the key and being a Stormbreaker, the way to use that key is really stupid because the Stormbreaker has how much time? A couple of years of existence? Because it was made during Endgame, right? During Infinity War. So, yeah, it has 5 years. How the hell is the plan from a sword that is ancient to get somebody to take that axe that was just made?
Well, here's another thing, like, because the whole thing comes into play, like, you kind of get an idea that Gore's trying to lure Thor out or get Thor in some way. You just kind of assume, or left to assume from the movie, that he just wants him because he's a god or a demigod or whatever. But the problem you have is he wants Thor's weapon because it opens the Bifrost. We're opened up to the idea in this film that almost all these magical elements and weapons can open the Bifrost, right? Because they use Zeus's Thunderbolt, Valkyrie's sword. Why don't they have it to where, like, because that kind of could have kicked the film off with an interesting way, because you have that was basically where Lady Sif loses her arm for a joke.
Yep.
Really, if you think about it. Like, wouldn't it have been interesting if, like, all of a sudden, hey, you know, Tessa Thompson wasn't always everybody's favorite, and really, what does she have to do in this movie and any other movie going forward? Because she didn't really do a whole hell of a lot in this movie either, to be honest with you.
She's gay. That's her character.
That's her character. You're not wrong, because she's there, but she doesn't really do anything that serves the story. But what if you had the movie start out to where she gets killed by Gore and he takes her sword, because we know that can open the Bifrost. And that begs the question, why in the hell would Gore kill somebody who's not a god?
I think they try to make the argument that everyone
and that would have opened it up to a bit more of a mystery, right?
Yeah.
Because then you have that bit where Zeus just kind of tells Thor that we know what he wants and you have the key. He doesn't know what it is yet, which is bullshit. And then we have Jane figuring out the whole thing of what it is that he wants. And then, like, eternity's supposed to be this place that nobody can find, but yet everybody finds it in 30 seconds using the Bifrost. And it all just doesn't really make that much sense. There could have been a way to kind of, like, they should have had it to where that was the thing, and then the race was trying to figure out what the fuck Gore was up to, right? Like, why would he kill Valkyrie? She's not a god. It makes no sense. And then eventually they figure out, oh, well, this is what he's up to, and then you got to race the time to get to eternity before he does, basically. Like, that would have made more sense. Like, there's just little things that could have made this movie a lot better. But I understand why people like it. And again, it's not a horrible movie. It's definitely not the worst of the MCU. But it's just, we're hitting that point of diminishing returns, and it could have been a much better film, is I think the biggest problem with it.
And that's letting completely apart that, for example, I'm a Kirby fan. So I love the way that he handled the concept of Thor and the visuals of Thor. And there was nothing of that on this movie. That's a real shame, because there's that moment when they are black and white and only the weapons have color. They could have used a lot of crackle there. They could have used the Kirby energy sparks there. And that will have visually be so much better. So those small moments of, disregard the story, because, okay, they are making whatever. But then go with Thor on the other side, on the visual side. Thor is one of the most emblematic, visually stunning comics that Kirby had. So there's a lot of wasted potential. If they stop with the jokes and were more serious about Jane's cancer, I would have enjoyed the movie a lot more, because it would have been a love drama. And for those two characters that have been on and off again for so long, having that kind of resolution of that love story for a Marvel fan can work really well. And
I agree with you. I think it would have been better as more of a romance and then a comedy, than a rom-com kind of thing they're setting up, because they keep trying to do this meet cute thing with him and Jane. It's like, we've already been here. They make him look desperate and kind of hammy with the whole thing. And then that's kind of what Pablo was talking about. Paulie was like, because he's like, I love you and I want to be with you, and she's like, I got cancer. It's like, whoa, that was like awkward, like, and the whole thing just kind of falls flat. And then this could have been something a little bit more touching, endearing, even with like the giving Thor a daughter in the end, like we were talking about before. There's so many more things you could have done with it. Even having like a little scene where you like I said, started in with like, close up of Thor's eyes and her, and they're talking, and it's like, okay, how are we going to do this? And he said, she's like, 2. All right, fine. And then you zoom out and it's like 2 lumps of sugar go into the little teacup, and he's like at this little tea table thing, like being, dad. Like that could have been a cute, enduring scene. But no, the scene we get of her is her bitching she doesn't want to put her boots on. That's what it is. He's making her breakfast and all this shit, and he's like, put your boots on. She's like, no, I'm not doing it. And all this other stuff. And that's kind of her attitude through the whole scene. And you're just kind of like, why are they doing this? This makes no sense. They give us zero setup. They're trying to make it like they've been hanging out for a while, but we have no real sense of their relationship at all at this point. And it's really kind of just awkward and weird. And yeah, then it leads into this whole thing for them to say, you know, that she's love and he's thunder. So that's why it's called Thor, Love, and Thunder.
And by the way, Jackman and Dark Plato, here's the issue. Tessa Thompson is a silent 8, but when she speaks, she goes to a 4. She's a really gorgeous woman if you just see her silently. If she starts talking, and especially in this movie, she is so obnoxious. She is so...
I just don't like her as Valkyrie. I liked her in Creed.
Oh yeah, she was on Creed.
Yeah, she's hot.
Yeah, she's really
She's
hot.
wonderful. Yeah. Very
As
sexy.
I said, she is easily a silent 8. Even
Well, I just thought that was a
9.
really good character. So it's like, you know, when you give them a good character, you know, what's the other one where she was just, she's kind of like just, for as much as she's in, a lot of this stuff is badly written for her.
Yeah.
Was it, Men in Black, this one. Yeah, I can't think of
Stop trying to make her funny. She has other talents. Being funny is not one of them. And being snarky... also, she is not Grunhilde. Let's be honest. But anyway, yeah, I have a lot of issues with the movie. I can see if people like it, but I think I needed a closure for this movie in a way for the Thor story, and for me, it didn't deliver. So I have a lot of gripes on that. That's it.
Well, what do you say we wrap it up, fellas?
Yep.
What do you have cooking up, Pablo, for Midnight's Edge Espanol?
For Midnight's Edge Espanol, I'm making a video about how important is to trust the brand. So I will be talking about a bit of Lightyear, a bit of what's going on with the Star Wars and everything. There's a need for at least the parents to trust a brand, so they can, in a way, forget a bit of taking care of the kids. For the lifestyle that we have in current society. And that's the reason why it's so important that we call out what is going on Disney or in other companies, because we are supposed to trust them in a way. For example, there's something going on with YouTube Kids that they are flagging adult material as kid friendly, so there's a lot of nudity and gore and things like that going to YouTube Kids. And if you cannot let your kids, in a way, just have the app that is made for them with the content right for them and something that you can trust, then we need better solutions for this. Parental controls and that kind of stuff is not working. We need something else. So yeah, that's going to be a video real soon, and that will be it. And for
Tom, what do you got going on? You have
I'll be over on
Midnight's Edge
Cultures in
tonight?
like 90
Oh.
minutes, and
Okay.
then yeah, we got Midnight's Edge After Dark tonight. So yeah.
What are you guys talking about on Midnight's Edge After Dark?
No idea yet.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, I have no clue, to be honest with you. We'll see.
Yeah, that's tonight. That's 5 p.m. Pacific, I believe.
Actually, it's 6 Central, so it's more like...
Oh, okay, 4 p.m. Pacific. That's
4,
right. Sorry.
4 Pacific, yeah.
4 Pacific, Midnight's Edge, and that is always on Midnight's Edge After Dark. And then tomorrow, God, tomorrow's Wednesday. Oh, yeah, Midnight's Edge in the morning. I will have some videos out. I just put one out this morning. We Are Not Tacos, political stance. Check that out on Latino Slant. And then Thursday, Cameron Posh is going to come on Latino Slant live.
Nice.
So That's Thursday, 11 a.m.
Now you got to translate that.
Now you got to translate it. Translate it. Midnight's Edge, Quiet Storm.
We'll wait.
Okay, well, gracias everyone. Great chat. Thank you for all the super chats, the love, the membership love. Anything else, Pablito?
No, muchísimas gracias por vernos y hasta la próxima.
Gracias, Tom.
Gracias, Tom.
De nada.